Hello mischievous movie watchers, welcome to the Motel Hell review, where I watch movies, rate them, and review them. And don't forget that at the end, I will be comparing and contrasting the goods and gashes from every movie. But let's not get ahead of ourselves here, and get straight into it. And I apologize now, because you may be able to hear it, but I'm a little stuffed up. I mean, it's wintertime, cold's going around, stuff like that. Motel Hell is a 1980 horror comedy written by 4 people: Robert Jaffe, Stephen Jaffe, Tim Tuccello, and Frank Cotolo. I'm sorry if I messed those up, which I definitely did. The latter of 2 which are uncredited. It is also directed by Kevin Connor. It is about a brother and sister who run a hotel. However, when customers check in, they never check out. The movie starts us off by showing us the Motel Hello. It is owned by Vincent and his younger sister, Ida. The pair are known for the town-famous sausages that use no preservatives. We follow as Vincent grabs a gun and hides in some bushes by the road. As a couple on a motorcycle drives by, he shoots their tire out. He then takes the man to a secret garden, where he buries him up to his neck, next to many others that have suffered the same fate. Almost. Then he goes all jigsaw and surgically removes the man's vocal cords so that he can't scream. Vincent then says that he will keep the man there until harvesting time. Vincent then takes the girl, Terry, to the motel. This is where we learn that Ida is on the secret garden thing too. When Terry wakes up, she has no recollection of the crash. Vincent tells her that her boyfriend died and has been buried. I'm just gonna stop right here and count how many red flags there are. Woke up in some random dude's house. My boyfriend is buried on some random dude's property by people I don't know, and I'm not in the hospital right now. I mean, come on. Terry soon finds herself falling for Vincent somehow. The age gap has to be at least 30 years. Vincent secretly captures more and more victims as time goes on, completing the same process. Vincent suggests to Ida, remember her, that he teaches Terry to smoke meat. Ida then tries to drown Terry by popping her floating thing out of jealousy. Vincent saves her in the nick of time by pulling it out of the water. Neither of them know what really happened. Later, Vincent asks Terry to marry him. She agrees to it the next day. Bruce catches the news the day of the marriage and goes to protest. Vincent arrives with a shotgun and scares him off. That night, the 3 drink champagne. However, Ida drugs Terry's drink. After she passes out, the 2 siblings prepare their victims for the wedding. At the same time, Bruce suspects Vincent is the reason for the recent disappearances. Vincent and Ida kill 3 of their victims. As they do, Terry's boyfriend breaks free. At the same time, Bruce sneaks into the motel to save Terry, who is still unconscious. Ida sneaks up on Bruce and knocks him out. She then takes a now-awake Terry at gunpoint to the meat processing building. This is where Terry learns that the 2 have been kidnapping, killing, and processing people into their infamous sausages. Terry's boyfriend is now digging up the rest of the victims. At the same time, Ida goes back to the motel to get something to eat. As they knock Ida out, Vincent straps Terry to a conveyor belt. Terry's boyfriend crashes through a window but is strangled by Vincent. Bruce wakes up, grabs a shotgun, and gets to the smoking plant. When he gets there, he sees Vincent now has a chainsaw and a pig's head as a mask. Bruce loses his gun, but instead grabs a different chainsaw. As the 2 battle it out, Terry is set down the conveyor belt towards an active blade. Bruce sends his chainsaw deep into Vincent's side and saves Terry. Vincent utters his last words: "I used preservatives." As the 2 leave, they find Ida buried head first, dead. The sign that says Motel Hello short circuits and turns into Motel Hell. Now, time for the goods and the gashes. The goods. It's a pretty good idea, but that's about it. The gashes, it's bad acting, bad writing, and no motive for killer. I've come up with a grading system to decide percentages. There are 10 categories, each of which I will rate on a scale of 1 to 10. This will ultimately decide the grade of a movie. The categories are gore, action, twist, character development, interesting idea, pacing, memorable killer, killer's motive, special effects, whether that be CGI or props, and finally, whether I liked it. For the gore, I gave it a 5 out of 10 because it doesn't actually show much, and the stuff it does show is very minimal. For the action, I gave it a 2 out of 10 because even the fight scenes are slow. For the twist, I gave it a 2 out of 10 because there really isn't one. In the movie, they reveal the garden in the very beginning, and the sausages are pretty predictable. For the character development, I gave it a 1 out of 10 because the characters don't really change at all throughout the movie. For the idea, I gave it a 10 out of 10 because it's very unique. There are some movies about cannibals, but there are very little about cannibals that plant people like crops. For the pacing, I gave it a 3 out of 10 because I was bored throughout and there's almost no horror until the very end. For how memorable the killer is, I gave it an 8 out of 10 because the pig head is so unique. For the killer's motive, I gave it a 5 out of 10 because they could just smoke pig and sell sausage. Killing people just ups the risk. For the special effects, I give it a 4 out of 10 because the only time there is any is in the chainsaw battle. And finally, for whether I liked it, I give it a 2 out of 10 because of the extended scenes and dumb characters. Overall, I gave Motel Hell a 42%. If you like this video, I do others like Freak and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This has been Movies and Mischief. Goodbye.